Welcome to this episode of Locked In. In this episode, we're going to be doing my review of the WTB Riddler tires in the size 37. If you're looking at this tire for your gravel or adventure riding or your cyclocross racing, please stay tuned. So in this review, we're going to be going over what this tire is designed for, installation, ride quality, price, and my final thoughts. So let's go over the specs of this tire. This is a gravel tire that is basically designed for dry cyclocross racing conditions or gravel riding. It is definitely a lighter duty gravel tire in my opinion. In the size 37, it is claimed to be weighed at 465 grams. And here's what it weighed on my scales. It is a tubeless ready tire, but you obviously can run it tubed. The pressure rating on it goes as low as 30 and up to 55 PSI. And they do make it in a 45C. Now let's get on to installation. Now I have reviewed a lot of WTB tires on this channel, and just a little disclaimer, they did not pay me to do this review or say any of these things, but I've had great experiences with WTB tires in general as far as installation goes on a variety of rims. Now, as you can see in this footage, I actually installed this tire completely dry with no sealant in it. As you can see here, it actually beaded. Now, I did put a little bit of pressure on the tire at certain points if I did hear a little bit of air leaking, and putting the tire on, which I don't have footage of, was very easy as well. Again, I've had great experiences with tubeless setup on WTB tires just across the board so far. Now let's get on to ride quality. First, I'm going to mention basically the design structure of this tire. As you can see, it's got a very fine micro knob, is what I would call it, tread pattern in the center. It is very compact in the center and kind of spreads out as you get to the mid shoulder. Then as you get to the shoulder, you're going to see a little bit more pronounced knobs on that. Now what that's going to give you is better roll-in resistance on the dry or the pavement. And then as you start to corner more and where conditions would potentially loosen, you're going to have that bigger side bite of the shoulder knob, or you're going to have a little bit more space between your micro knobs to get you a little bit more grip. Now I have ridden these tires quite a bit actually. I did a lot on my single speed Warhawk. And I'm honestly really surprised with this tire. If you're not looking for a super high volume, if you're looking at the 37s, this is kind of a great mixed condition tire for someone who's riding a lot of road or commuting with some light duty gravel or dirt riding. Now, even though they did rate this as a dry condition tire, as you can see in some of this footage, I rode a really mucky kind of right after a rain section just to see how the tires would react, basically fully caked up. And I was extremely surprised with how well they gripped. Now, they didn't grip out of the saddle, granted, because they're fully coated, but if I stayed seated, they actually hooked pretty well. And keep in mind, this is essentially a flat surface, so I wasn't climbing where I think they would slip in that scenario. I've been really happy with this. This would definitely be a great cyclocross tire, especially in California, because most of the courses are pretty dry. There are some that do get wet or get rained out because of the season, but depending on your conditions, I would definitely recommend this in either size depending on what you feel comfortable with and how much really volume you're looking for. This would definitely be a tire that I would commute on with no hesitation because I think this rolls a little bit better than the Nano because it's basically almost a slick in the center because of how tight those micro knobs are. Granted, the Nano does have more grip in my opinion, but this I think as a mixed condition tire as far as road, light dirt, where you want to do maybe some trails on the way home or some light duty stuff, I think this is a great kind of middle ground as far as something that's decently fast rolling, but also has some great cornering ability because of those shoulder knobs compared to basically full slick at a lower pressure or something with just micro knobs kind of on the shoulder. Now getting into price. So these tires are listed at $59.95 on WTB's website in the black or the tan wall options. Let's get into final thoughts. Now, as far as WTB goes, I've ridden a lot of their tires. I've had great experiences as far as their durability. They do not offer multiple casing options, which a lot of companies I think are starting to go to, which is hard as far as production goes, which I understand, but these tires are definitely not the lightest in the size in this category, and they don't offer a super heavy duty casing in their tires either. Now, I think they strike a great middle ground since I haven't had any punctures on any of the cross tires that I've run. Now, as far as durability goes, I've ridden the Horizons, the WTB Nanos, the Riddlers, the Byways, the Senduros, and the Ventures. Now, granted, those are all in different sizes, but I've never had a puncture on any of those. So keep that in mind. These don't offer a ultra durable casing, but in a size 37, I don't think anyone's doing any crazy gravel riding where they would really want that because it isn't a lot of volume nowadays. As far as balance of ride quality and cornering, I think these are a good balance, but if I was predominantly riding more gravel on these, I probably would look at the new tire they offer, which is the Riddler, which is basically a little bit more pronounced center section of this and shoulder. Just a little bit more rad version of this tire. But again, if you're doing more street or more mixed, I really like this as a alternative that's going to be a greater option for you and not feel as sluggish as maybe the Venture would, which would offer more grip but would take down some rolling resistance. So I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to comment below. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn notifications on so you can see all the reviews and other cycling-based videos. I put videos out every single week. And make sure to check out all my other tire reviews. Most of them are WTB currently. But suggest tires below. I'll reach out to those companies to see if they can send me a set to give you guys my honest opinion compared to everything that I've ridden so far. So make sure to also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Links in the links below so you can see what I'm up to on the daily basis. And lastly, thanks for watching another episode of Locked In.
Let's get locked in.